All right, good afternoon. We're back. Trying to get back into the rhythm of streaming here again regularly. We'll see how well this goes. A little bit different setup. We moved, so setup looks a little bit. Hey, Stux, what's up, man? How are you doing? I'm doing good. It's only been a couple hours since I talked to you last, but yeah, I'm doing good. I got some coffee. Been a pretty quiet day at work, and now I'm settling into my lunch break. Gonna do a little bit of coding, maybe. How about you? What's on the docket for you, Stux? Oh no, I think my bot crashed. Yep. My poor Discord bot is down. Oh, whoops. Hold on one second. I'm all out of sorts. Alright, one second. You're creating a VPN because your school blocked everything? Oh, that sucks. They want you to do your homework. You should just focus on doing your homework, you know? Instead of trying to hack your way around their blocks. What are you thinking? Also, why do schools even waste time trying to block stuff? People are just going to get around it, right? It's like prohibition. Did humanity not learn anything about human nature? It's just a waste of time. The sites I need are oh wow. Okay. Well, that's dumb. If they block sites that are useful to you for educational purposes, that's even more dumb. I wonder if maybe it's just like a bad configuration. Maybe IT just didn't configure it correctly. Oh, this could be a problem. Sorry, I'm having to. I was trying to fix my Discord bot because it looks like my Discord bot went down. Well, let me just make sure. Yep. Man, I really need to fix that. I really need to. So basically, I built this Discord bot, and it works great, except there are times that when the Discord bot needs to connect to the socket API, the Discord socket API, sometimes the socket API is not available. In which case, if it fails to connect to the remote server, I don't have any retry logic in place. So basically, I need to implement retry logic for the initial gateway connection. So what I do right now is I just restart the whole thing, and that fixes it. But I need to fix that. Maybe that's what we'll do today, huh? let's see, restart. Yeah, yes, I just want to restart it. And the reason why this is important is because the Discord bot is what notifies my Discord server that I've gone live. So right now there's a bunch of people in my Discord server that don't know that I'm live. So we need to, how do we do this? So basically I think I can go in to the live. Let's see. I think I can save that. There we go. Okay, now it's posted in my Discord. The IT doesn't even know what they're doing. Well, haven't we all worked with IT groups that are like that? So YouTube changed the icons. They look so stupid. Did they really? YouTube changed their interface? Let me see. Where at? Which icons? It all looks the same to me still. Or maybe I just never noticed. Computers are so weird. The server is running good for a month, but suddenly there's an error without an explanation. Yeah, I think a lot of times that just has to do with some sort of resource management with whatever piece of software is running on the hardware. I think 9 times out of 10, I think that's why a lot of times a restart will fix it. In this case, I have no idea why Discord service becomes temporarily unavailable, but every so often the Discord gateway will return a, what is it, resource unavailable status code. Yeah, what is it? Temporary. There's some status code that it will send. Yeah, 503. I think it sends a 503. Which, you know, they're a big company, right? Their API sees a lot of traffic, so why it throws it, I don't know. But I should be handling it better. So let's go and see if I can fix that. The thumbs up and viewer icons. Oh, maybe just on mobile. Because it looks the same on the desktop app.
5 years ago,
Sorry. Oh wow, look at this. They added a Gemini button to the interface. That's new. I haven't seen that. Ask. Hello, curious about what you're watching? I'm here to help. I won't always get it. I won't always get things right, but the more feedback you give me, the more I can improve. I love that every implementation of AI has to be crouched in some sort of I'm often wrong, so please double check everything I say. It's the lying robot, you know? The lying robot. What are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? Oh shoot. I shouldn't have changed those. If I have to double check everything the AI says, what fucking good is it? AI is controversial. Yeah, it's so controversial. Well, I mean, it's a valid point though. Like, right? If you're using an AI tool, but every time you use the AI tool, you have to be like, I don't know, is this true? I think that's why AI is particularly helpful with subjects where you have some amount of knowledge, but you're trying to like explore the edges of that knowledge, right? You know enough to basically gut check the response. That's when it's most helpful. A lot of times. All right. So, let's dive into this problem. I honestly don't know if I'll be able to fix it before lunch is up, but so the main issue, I think I already have a bug log around this. Implement more resilient connection. Yeah. Okay, there are times when the bot attempts to resume or reconnect to the gateway and Discord responds with some transient network error. Currently, when this happens, the bot does not make any further attempts to reconnect. I should handle this better. Perhaps we attempt to retry with some expedient. Yeah. Past Steven was on top of this. Hey, what's up, Yusuf? How are you? Long time no talk. Yeah, long time indeed. I actually moved. So it's been about a week since I streamed. More than a week, probably. Probably like 10 days since I streamed. Because we were in the middle of a move, and well, you know how that goes. If you've ever moved before, right? There's a lot to it. Let's see, heirs. Do I not have any heirs? Let's see. Oh, am I not I wonder if I'm not logging those. I should definitely have an error from earlier today. Let's see, Steve's bot worker. There's no way this is. Let's see, last 7 days. Does that change what I see? Interesting. I must have. Let me see. I need to. I need to change my retention on Seek. Probably. Let's see. After. Let's just do it after 2 days. Okay. We will save these logs for 2 days now. Okay. Well, in any event, I don't have reconnection logic in here. Buy or rent? Oh, rent for sure. Yeah, the houses where I live. Whew, I mean, the median house price in the U.S. is $400,000 or something like that. A down payment, what is that? 20% of $400,000. 20% of what is that? It's like 80 grand almost. Times. Yeah, it's 80 grand. That's what you need for a down payment. Plus, they say the cost of a home. They say for closing costs you should expect to pay about 1% of the cost of the home. Or is it 10%? What is it? Average closing costs. 2 to 5%. So let's say you're gonna pay. Let's say the high side of that, 5%. So now you're talking. You need $100,000 to purchase the average home in the U.S. Yeah. So yeah, we're just renting. Just renting for now, but it's a bigger place. It's like not an apartment. It's like a house. So I actually have like a proper I have my own room. That's my office now, which is pretty nice. So I'm excited about that. Thanks, Yusuf. Yeah, yeah, I'm happy. I mean, I was definitely nervous about moving because it was more money, and with more money, obviously, that puts a little bit of financial pressure on you, obviously, because you have that much more nut that you need to make. But we ran the numbers and did the budget enough to kind of feel comfortable to make the move. Mr. Beatrix. Hello, how are you? Yusuf, still cheaper than Turkey? Really? That's wild. Yeah, that's wild, man. Houses in general are just expensive, Stuck's only $100,000. It is here $300 for 300. Is that euros? 300 euros for a decent home? God damn, yeah. Well, $100,000, and I mean that's to buy. I mean most people don't. In the United States, most people don't put down 20%. Most people who buy a home in the United States probably put down 3 to 5%, especially if it's their first home. However, my belief is that if I buy a home, or hopefully in the future when I buy a home, I want to have a big chunk of equity to begin with. I also don't want to pay for if you don't put down 20% in the US, we have laws that basically say then you have to sign up for private mortgage insurance, which is basically insurance that you pay, but it's for the bank in case you default on the loan. I don't have interest in paying PMI. You also, if you put down less than 20% in the US, you also then have to have an escrow account. And the bank forces you to have an escrow account because the bank basically wants to make sure that you're putting money aside for property tax and what's the other thing? Property tax and homeowners insurance. So they basically force you to pay them money, and they put that money in an account and hold it for you, and then they take care of paying your property tax and your homeowners insurance. Again, the reason being is the bank is trying to protect themselves against your financial irresponsibility. So I want to be able to put 20% down on the home I buy so that I don't have to pay those things. Or that way I don't have to pay PMI, and I can handle the escrow and I can handle the property taxes and the insurance myself. I don't have to go through the bank. Average starts from 500,000. Oh, okay. Well, it's cheaper than the U.S. or it's cheaper than or it's more expensive than the U.S. but not by much. You know, Steven, it's my first day in your life. Want to learn from you? Yeah, for sure, man. I'm happy to help share what I know. I don't know a lot about most things. I know some about a few things. Let's see. Let's go to Steve's bot. And let's check out a branch here. I really had no plan for today on what I was going to do. Let's see, fix. What number is this? Number 9? No, that's the pull request that get the GitHub bot open. This issue is number 8. 8. Make connection or add retry logic. That's basically what I'm doing. So I'm basically adding retry logic that says, hey, if you try to establish a WebSocket connection with Discord's gateway API and they refuse your connection with a particular set of status codes, I want to retry making that connection. So we'll check that out. I guess I should have pulled, shouldn't I have? Git checkout main. I should have made sure I had the latest. Okay, git branch, delete. Okay, git. We'll redo that. Check out. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Ooh, what you really know. So I know a lot about fitness, like working out, physical training. I was a personal trainer for a very long time and I really, really love that stuff. I mean, that I could talk about working out, lifting weights, training. Like, I could bore people's brains off with that. Boy, I'm talking about tech. It feels you're good at computer science. Oh, well, I don't know if I'm good at computer science. I know a little bit about some technology. I feel very comfortable with in the .NET world, in C Sharp land. I feel comfortable in the TypeScript world and JavaScript. But I wouldn't say I'm really an expert at anything in tech. I would probably say like I'm somewhere like in the journeyman category. You know, my degree's in biochemistry, so I'm all this stuff is self-taught, self-learned. None of it's from formal education. I don't know any Java. I've never written any Java before in my entire life, if you can believe that. I love coffee, never written a line of Java. Sorry, I'm getting a Slack message here I need to respond to. You love coffee? Yeah, I dude, I love coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Yeah. The right now I'm having my iced vanilla latte of the day. This is like 4 shots of espresso, which means I think that means I've had 6 shots of espresso today. Is that bad? Is 6 shots of espresso too many shots of espresso? No. See you, Stux. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Have a good night. Hope you sleep well. But yeah, I've always felt like I haven't lived up to my obligation because I love coffee and yet I've never written any Java. Maybe that's the next language I learn. At the moment, I'm trying to learn Golang. But I've heard people always tell me that if you can learn C sharp, or if you know C sharp, you can learn Java pretty easily, and if you know Java, you can learn C sharp fairly easily. Like people have always said that those are pretty interchangeable languages. I'm actually just a student. Bachelor's of Technology, Computer Science Engineering. Nice. Very cool, man. Yeah, I've never had any real formal training. I took Computer Programming 1 and Computer Programming 2 in college, and those courses were a lot of fun. Um, but I did it. My degree is in biochemistry. I took those courses more just for fun to fill up my electives. Alright, so this is where my problem is. Okay, so essentially here's where the problem lies. In this method where we connect, are you in college? No, I'm not in college. I finished college, so I'm 32. I'm a 32-year-old dad of two. So I'm kind of an old man for the YouTubes, you know. I graduated college in 2015, almost, well, 10 years ago now. May of 2015. So yeah, 10 years. May of 2025 was 10 years, which is crazy. It's really crazy to think about. Time goes fast. What can I say? Hey, thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate that. Lacon? Sorry if I mispronounced your name, but thank you for the sub. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we need to go down here to the disconnect. Or no, the disconnect. Not disconnect, reconnect. Let's see. Oh man, this. You ever look at code that you've written previously and just thought, what the? I understood this so well. Like 2 months ago when we built all this on stream, I understood this all so well. So we have two places where we make the initial connection. We have a place where we do it with resume URL, and then we have a place where we don't do it with the resume URL. So let's go down here. I'm wondering if we can implement this in kind of a central place. Yeah, right here. So we have connect with resume URL async, and then we have connect with URI async. So I'm thinking we want to implement our retry logic here in this method. Like this is where we're going to want to implement the retry logic centrally, so that if we get a temporarily unavailable status code, we can do it in here. Yeah. So does this return anything? What does this return? Let's see, go to implementation. This is a wrapper. Well, that's not what I wanted. And Keek Chowdhury, 2016, time passed by. Yeah, time passes quick, man. Like I said, I can't believe 10 years have gone by from college. Before long, I'll be having my 20-year high school reunion, and that's in 6 years. I'll be 38. I miss my 10-year high school reunion because my family got COVID. But I'm hoping to make it to my 20-year high school reunion. I think it would be cool to see a lot of those people from high school. So I think I should call you sir instead of boy. Nah, you don't have to call me sir. Nobody has to call me sir, except my sons. Occasionally my sons need to call me sir when I'm disciplining them. All right. So what I'm trying to figure out right now is I'm trying to see when this WebSocket client connects to the given URI. If the connection fails, I'm trying to figure out how I know that the connection fails. I think this throws an exception, so I think we're going to have to try to catch the exception. But that I need to do a little bit of research because I'm not actually certain about that. So .NET WebSocket connection .NET WebSocket connect async. Let's see. Maybe Gemini knows. Let's see if Gemini knows. Let's see, I'm working in .NET with the client WebSocket. What happens when I call? I guess I could test this too pretty easily. What happens when I call connect async and the connection fails? Does it throw an exception? I think it throws an exception because it just returns a task. So there's no like Boolean flag to know. Oh, sorry, Adrix. For whatever reason, you got Nightbot swatted you. This is the primary exception you'll need to handle. It's thrown for most network-related connection errors, such as the remote server is okay, so maybe we do need to. Okay, so let's do this. Let's say try catch exception. Hold on, my dog is on an exploration. One sec. Sorry, I thought my dog was rooting around in one of our closets. Excuse me. Alright, there we go. So we need to say, try this, but we only want to catch when E is a WebSocket exception. Oh, is that not the right syntax? There we go. Okay, so isn't this great syntax right here? Like, that's just wonderful pattern matching syntax in C#. Very nice, .NET. Very nice to the C# language team. So if it's a WebSocket connection, we need to basically find out, let's see, E dot message maybe? So it doesn't give us the it doesn't give like a status code or anything. Huh. It would be really nice if it gave us, like, we basically need in here, we need to figure out if we should retry. That's basically what we need to do. But I don't know how to figure that out. Yeah, so you can kind of see here's an example of what this error looks like, right? So you can see right here, unable to connect to the remote server, unable to connect to the remote server, and then inside that looks like there's an inner exception that says resource temporarily unavailable. And then socket exception. Okay, so I need to check the inner exception on this thing too. So right? I mean, basically that's what I need to do. I need to check the inner exception here too, right? That's so I basically need to say if e dot inner exception is an HTTP exception. Yeah, is HTTP request exception. Or I could say if it is not, then we're just gonna like return out of here. We don't care about it. Is that enough to figure out what this is? No, it's not. So we need to say, what we need to do is, let's say var inner exception equals inner exception. Then we'll say if inner exception is not, we'll return, which means at this point we know the inner exception is an HTTP dot okay, we'll do it in here. Okay, is there some way I can get what is an H result? HTTP request error okay, here we go, status code. This is the thing we basically want to check against. Right? We basically want to know like why did it fail? Hey, what's up, Light Logsty? Lot? I don't know how to say your username. I don't know if that command's gonna work honestly, because Nightbot. I don't know what's going on with Nightbot. I think Nightbot's here, but I'm not sure if it's responding to commands. It hasn't been responding to my commands. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to make I don't know how to make Nightbot work again. It's like I took too much time off from streaming, so it was like, screw this, I'm done. Nightbot quit on me. So I think I could do something like this, right? And HTTP request exception dot status code is HTTP status code dot. The one that I'm seeing the most is unavailable. Let's see. 503, I think, is the one I'm seeing the most. Do we have a status code for that? What? There's not a status code for unavailable in .NET? That seems kind of crazy. Come on, someone's got to have a 503, right? 503. Yeah, there we go. Service unavailable. That's the one that's coming through, I think. Let me look at that. Hold on, I'm going to look at that error. Unable to connect to the remote server. Resource temporarily unavailable. Resource temporarily unavailable. .NET. I wonder if I should log this, huh? Because I honestly don't know what the status code is that it's returning. HTTP request exception. I guess I don't want to retry at the wrong time. Right? Like I don't want to retry when I don't want to have my bot sitting there just continually retrying if there's something really wrong. Hey, thanks for the subscription, man. I appreciate you. You the man. Like part of me thinks I should part of me thinks that I shouldn't try to fix this, that I should add logging for it. Or maybe I should just blindly retry, right? So if the maybe I should just blindly retry. Yeah. I mean, I guess here's the thing, right? Here's the question I need to answer. Well, didn't mean to paste that there. Here's the question I kind of need to answer for myself. If I don't want the bot to just blindly be reconnecting, trying to reconnect, what do I want the bot to do? Right? At that point, the bot just dies, right? If I don't just have it blindly reconnect when it gets that response, then the bot's essentially useless because the connection's dead at that point. So honestly, it actually makes sense to just keep trying to reconnect. And if for some reason like Discord is like hard down, like its gateway is like their service really is down. It's not just transient. I can just do an exponential back off, and that should help alleviate any type of like I'm basically not going to try to DDoS their service if I implement that. So let's do that. Let's say let's do that. Let's try to implement that. So we won't care. We'll just catch if the WebSocket exception is thrown. We will catch. So let's move this up here. Right. Like that. Then we're not going to check the inner exception. We're just going to blindly say, hey, if there's a WebSocket connection, we're going to retry to connect. I don't think I want this to be recursive. Maybe I do want it to be recursive. Or do I want a separate method? I'm not really a big fan of recursion myself. I think it's kind of, I don't know. It feels dangerous. Even though I know it's not dangerous, it feels dangerous. Do you guys like recursion? Gun highs. Would you switch to Golang? So I've been trying to learn Golang. That's actually my plan for Advent of Code this year is to do it in Golang. But I don't plan to switch away from C#. I really, really like writing C# code. So if anything, I'll just add languages, you know? Hey, Dragon Crypto Flashers. I have no idea what you're doing. Anki, never. Yeah, see, like, recursion it's funny. Recursion is something everybody who learns how to code is forced to learn. But yet, it's like, I think if given a choice, you would never actually use it in most cases. Like, I'm pretty sure doesn't NASA have a rule about that? Like, NASA has a rule you cannot use recursion in code you write if you work at NASA. I'm pretty sure it's outlawed. Yeah. I'm pretty sure recursion is prohibited in embedded context. Yeah. So I feel like if NASA bans recursion, I should probably ban recursion too. Recursive is okay if you know what you're doing. Yes, NASA got that rule. Well, I mean, it's not that I don't know what I'm doing. It's just it feels more difficult to follow. You know, in my opinion, it just feels more it feels like it obviates things. Obfuscates. I don't know what word I'm trying to say, okay? But I feel like recursion makes it difficult to follow. Makes the code difficult to follow 9 times out of 10. Hey, Laramike Studio, that command, I don't know what's up with Nightbot, but for whatever reason, Nightbot's not responding to people's commands. So what I'm doing right now is I'm on lunch break from work, and I'm just trying to write some code over lunch. Dragon crypto flashers. First of all, your username comes off as super spammy, and I don't know if that's what you're after, but your username comes off very spammy. So if you're trying to make friends on YouTube, you might reconsider the username. No, I didn't mean that you don't know what you're doing, but a lot of newcomers in programming doesn't. You're cool, bro. Oh no, yeah, I didn't think you were saying I don't know what I'm doing. I just meant like the recursive thing. I feel like it sounds cool initially when you learn about it. Then you actually implement it and you're like, wait a minute. Do I really have my base case right? Am I 1,000% confident that my base case is correct? Otherwise, this is going to go off the rails. So I think in this case, I just want to do like a counter, maybe. Yeah. Like I think I just want like a delay. So if we get down here, I think what we'll do is we'll keep track of like var attempts. And then we'll keep track of some delay. And I don't know what the base delay in milliseconds. I don't know. Let's say time span dot from maybe start with 5 seconds. Start with a 5-second delay to begin with. And then we'll say var max attempts. Well, actually, I don't want to I don't even want to keep track of attempts. I just want to change the delay on each iteration because I'm just going to have this thing sit in a while loop and just continue to try to reconnect. Oh no, I do need to keep track of. I need to keep track of attempts if I'm going to do this in an exponential way, don't I? Okay, then we'll just say var connected equals. Do I have some? I think I have a. Do I have a state variable on my? I'm gonna run out of time before I get this figured out. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep track of it locally. I'll just have like a connected equals false, and then I'll say while connected is false. We're gonna try to do this. Connected is false is always true. Oh. Well, it's not always going to be true because I'm going to set it to true down here. Yeah, exactly. 100% agree. Because I think the one approach you could do if you did this recursively, you could recursively call connect with URI async and just pass in like an optional delay. But I think I'm just gonna stick with the while loop for now. Have you used ReSharper? Probably yes. Perhaps you know some free alternatives. So I've used ReSharper before. I have. I don't know of really any free alternatives myself. My experience with ReSharper was specifically in Visual Studio. I don't have much experience outside of it using it in any other context besides VS. My experience with ReSharper was that every time I would use it, it would make Visual Studio very slow, and 9 times out of 10, I would get a warning that there was something wrong with ReSharper. So yeah, I don't use Visual Studio that much in my side projects. I mostly use Writer, VS Code, and NeoVim is what I mostly use. I do use VS Code at work or Visual Studio at work with ReSharper. Um, but yeah, not. I mean, it's ReSharper is one of the things that's super powerful, right? If you can, hey, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate that, man. I think ReSharper is super powerful as long as you don't have to struggle through any of the performance issues that seemed to plague it when I was using it. Um, I haven't had. I will say, since setting up my dev machine at work and using ReSharper and VS, I haven't really had that same issue. But let's say like 2 years ago, that was my experience. I love JetBrains though. JetBrains makes great products. They really do. Laramick, what do you think of Rust as a C# developer? So, I've never written any non-GC code very much, right? Like I haven't written C, for example. So, it's difficult for me to give like strong opinions on low-level programming languages because I just don't have much to compare it to. I did start to try to learn Rust at the beginning of this year. Like you can actually go on my GitHub and you can see some of my progress. I was trying to like go through the Rust programming language book and kind of follow along with all the code examples. Yeah, right here. Oh wow, I guess it was in December of 2024, so 10 months ago at this point. Um, and my take on it was it seemed like a very cool language. The whole or ownership and the borrow checker, very interesting concept. Um, the the big thing I guess I'll share from my experience was as a C# developer, I never really think about memory that much. I don't think about allocations that much. I guess there are times when you start thinking about like string allocations, like can I use a string builder instead of just always allocating a new string, like maybe I'm in a really tight loop or something like that. But for the most part, you know, if you're writing C#, you just you new up objects all the time, right? And just let the garbage collector do its thing. So it was kind of interesting working through some of this code and having to think about that. Okay, who owns this piece? Who owns this piece of memory, right? At any particular point in time, and it's nice that the compiler gives you feedback when you violated some if you violated that ownership or that borrow checker system in some way or shape or form. So it seems really cool. I don't know it well enough to give an opinionated or give a good opinion beyond when you have to consider memory management, it adds a layer of complexity to your thought process when you're writing code that you don't have to worry about when you're doing C#. Gun highs. Ah, yes, it's configurable in VS to be faster, although within Writer it rocks. I heard about FreeSharper within VS Code, but I didn't use it yet. Oh, FreeSharper? Never heard of that. FreeSharper. Yeah, Writer's great. I've been using Writer a little bit recently. I think Writer's wonderful. FreeSharper, huh? VS Code, maybe? Huh. Or maybe Fake Sharper? Is that what maybe? But yeah, JetBrains makes wonderful products. I'm glad they exist. And keep 225 repos. Nice. Yeah, some of these repos though are like they're not like super in-depth repos. Some of them are just like small little POCs where I was trying to work something out. Um, I pretty much try to keep and publish almost any bit of code that I write to GitHub. Um, so, I mean, some of it's meaningful. Some of it's like this was a pretty cool thing I worked on recently. I wrote like a small little DI system for Hano that's inspired by the .NET dependency injection container, right? So small little projects like that. But then there are also repos here that are like back when I was first learning to code, right? I think all my free code camp repos are up here. Yeah, it's like all my free code camp solutions are on here. So I mean, this is 200 and something repos over 5 years, I guess, at this point, almost 5 years at this point. I have spent a lot of time writing code over the last 5 years. And particularly writing code in my own free time, you know, with not anybody paying me for it. Ah, yes, fake sharper, not free sharper. Oh, okay, yeah, I have to give that a try. It's a VS Code thing, huh? Fake sharper. I mean, the C# dev kit in VS Code is really good. It's very good. Oh, is it really 3:00? Oh, it's really been an hour already? Damn. Okay. To do implement exponential, right? Exponential back off retry strategy. I'm close here. I basically just need to loop over here whenever I catch. Yeah. Yeah, I basically just need to and then recalculate the delay. So this is the delay is initially going to be 0 seconds. So we'll say await task.delay delay. Does this not take a? Oh, for the cancellation token. And then basically in here is where I will keep track of the attempts and recalculate that delay. But I've got to go back to work because lunch is over. Thank you. By the way, why you are not on X or not been updated? Oh, so you can find my X. I can post my link to my X profile. I just don't use it much. I use Blue Sky more these days. Here's the story on. Here's the story on. This is my X profile here. Copy. And Keat. Here is my X profile. So the story of why I use Blue Sky more than X is because originally my X account, I had an X account that was Steven_Freeborn for the longest time, right? Like from the inception of Twitter. And for whatever reason, X suspended my account, and I can't get them to unsuspend it. So like I lost all those years of account data, which made me kind of angry. So then I went to Blue Sky and just started using Blue Sky real heavily. And then at some point I remade a new X account, which I just linked to. But I just don't have. I have like 2 followers on X, so I just don't post there much. But you're welcome to follow me there. All right, I gotta head back to work, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm gonna try, like I said, I've spent the last week moving into a new house. which is why I've kind of been silent on the YouTubes the last 10 days or so. But I'm going to try to get back into the habit of streaming every day. My plan is to try to do, and thank you, Inky. I appreciate you following over there. That's very kind of you. My plan is, though, is to try to stream like once in the morning. That's more of like a chat stream. I'm not going to really code or do anything like that during that stream. Just going to kind of like talk to you guys, just hang out. An office hour is what I call it. And then I'll try to do a stream like this over lunch where I actually try to work on some sort of code related thing. Maybe it's trying out a new piece of tech. Maybe it's trying to fix something in one of my side projects. And occasionally I'll throw in a longer stream in the evenings, occasionally, or maybe in the afternoons, just depending on what's going on. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm going to run back to work. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. If it's already Wednesday for you, have a great rest of your Wednesday. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in a video or maybe the comments of a short or in another stream. All right. Bye, y'all. Appreciate you guys. See ya. Bye.